Hey, good morning, Kids Rock friends. How are you doing this morning? I am at church. I am so happy to be at church. You can come to church too and sit with your parents during the service pretty soon. Pretty soon we'll be able to be together upstairs here where I am right now in Vivian and Frank's room, the second and third grade room. And we have a wonderful story today, and it goes right along with last week's story, how God is generous, and so we could be generous too. See, he made this widow in Elijah's time generous as well. So you can read it in 1 Kings chapter 17, and here's the background of the story. Go watch the video. Yeah, there's a video. Go watch the video and it tells you the background of the story, but I'll give it to you too. So it's a time when there isn't a lot of food in the land, and this widow, that's a lady whose husband had passed away, and she has a son, and they're very hungry because they're running out of food. So they get down to the very last piece of bread in their cupboard, and Elijah comes by, and he's hungry too. So the widow decides to give Elijah some food, and in response to her generous giving, generous means over and above, over the top giving, in response to that, God promises her through the prophet Elijah that she will never go hungry, that he will give her what she needs every single day. Last week we learned about how God is our provider, and this week we're going to learn how we too are generous, just like God is generous towards us. So I'm going to give you an example. Say you go to there's a box of donuts on the counter and there's nothing else in the house, right? And you have to split it between you and your brother, all right? So here's the donut. Not the fanciest kind. This one's kind of like the boring donut. So you split it between you and your brother, half and half, right? Now someone comes along and asks you to split your half with them. How's that? That's like barely a bite, huh? It would be very hard to do that if you were super hungry, hadn't had anything to eat. Split it again, and you only have a bite. You'd think you would forever have less, but here's what God promised, that if you are generous, give this one away and just keep this one. He will never let you go hungry. That's a pretty good promise. I kind of like that promise. And the reason that God gives us comfort in times like this is so that we can share that comfort with other people. That's like our Bible verse from 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 4. It says, he comforts us in all our troubles so we can comfort others. So that's the deal. Have you ever played Monkey in the Middle? It's where there are two people and they're playing catch. They're playing what we used to call keep away. The person in the middle is trying to get it. And how does it feel when you're the person in the middle and both of these people are being kind of greedy? It doesn't feel really good. But if someone were to throw it so you could catch it, that would be generous, and then that person would trade places with you. There's all kinds of games like that where we're trying to hoard things, keep it in because we don't have very much. We have to keep what we have. The God truth is that if you give it away, God will give you back what you need. Now, does that mean that he's going to give you exactly what you want? Not necessarily, but he will give you exactly what you need. So learn this lesson from Elijah and the widow, that God is generous, so we can be generous too. Not for what we get back, but because we really want our hearts to be like God's. Okay, got it? All right, guys, see you next week. Bye.